Surya Tejasvi. Surya, the sun, Tejasvi, the velour. Like the sun gives the rays and light to all the living beings and creatures on this earth, and the energy and the hope that is given by sun. Similar thing, Surya Tejasvi. The name itself says it all. Surya Tejasvi gives a hope to every youth in India. I'm so fortunate to introduce him today. Surya Tejasvi is a BJP candidate who contested from the South Bangalore constituency. At the age of 28, he's the youngest candidate to have won the Lok Sabha polls. An advocate by profession, Surya contested the Lok Sabha polls for the first time and secured a win with a landmark margin of over 2 lakhs votes. Welcome to Surya Tejasvi.
Thank you so much. So nice to see you, Radhika ji. Thank you so much. At the very outset, I would want to wish all my fellow brothers and sisters of India, currently residing in the United States, a very, very happy Independence Day. You may be a few thousand miles away from India, but I have always known and experienced in all my interactions with you that India has never been far away from you, from your hearts and your minds. So I know that this is a day of great rejoicement, a great of celebration, and I am happy that you have given me USIMPACT the opportunity of sharing this joy and rejoicement with my fellow Indians from across the border. The Indian diaspora in the United States is around 4 million and accounts for almost 1% of the total US population. And most of the Indians in the economic prosperity, peace, and harmonious societal growth of the United States. They have played a very important role as doctors, engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs who have created a lot of value to the American society. And the amount of influence that the Indian diaspora is currently wielding in the United States, whether it is in the field of politics, economics, whether it is in the field of foreign policy, whether it is in the field of taxation, is something splendid. And I hope, and I'm certain rather, that in the coming days, the influence of the Indian diaspora will only come to grow in the United States and rest of the world to ensure a more happier and a more peaceful and a more prosperous world and United States. So right now, there are many opportunities for the United States and India to build their bilateral relationship and work on the progress that has already been made, starting from Bill Clinton's presidency, whether it is a Democrat president or a Republican president, the relationship with India has only further been strengthened, has only deepened as the days have gone by. And just to highlight a few key highlights of the India-US bilateral relationship, it gives me a lot of delight and joy to say that the US and India bilateral relationships have now developed into a global strategic partnership based on shared democratic values and increasing convergence of interests on bilateral, regional, and global issues. Since assuming office in May 2014, my Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, who all Indians across the world consider so dearly, has visited the United States on 6 occasions. When it comes to defense, United States and India now conduct more bilateral exercises with each other than they do with any other country in the world. It only shows how strong India and US defense capabilities and defense ties have only increased. The aggregate worth of defense related acquisitions from the United States is more than 15 billion US dollars. In 2016, the United States designated India as a major defense partner, which commits the United States to facilitate technology transfer and sharing with India to a level commensurate with that of its closest allies and partners, and industry collaboration for defense production and co-development. The US-India Defense Technology and Trade Initiative is further aimed at promoting co-development and co-production efforts. This very year, there was a very important development in furthering this already strong ties of military cooperation between India and the United States. The US Pacific Command was renamed by the United States as the United States Indo-Pacific Command, recognizing the important role that India plays in maintaining harmony and peace in this very important region. Today, the United States, Japan, India, and Australia have formed a quadruple team, a quadruple collaboration through which a lot of activities are being undertaken in the Indo-Pacific region. The trade between India and the United States is higher and bigger in volume than it has ever been in the history between the two countries. The United States is India's largest trading partner, goods and services combined. Bilateral trade in goods and services grew by more than 10% per annum over the past 2 years to reach $142 billion in 2018. And in the coming days, given the fact that the entire world is now keen to move away from the monopolistic hegemony that China is wielding in the global supply chain, a lot of opportunities are throwing itself open for investment in India. In 2014, India had only 2 factories to manufacture electronic equipment, specifically mobile phones. In just 5 years, we have grown from 2 factories to more than 200 factories. And today, India is the second largest producer of electronic mobile phones in the world, electronic manufacturing, especially mobile phones in the world. This is only a testimony to the fact that India is capable of taking the pivotal role of being a very, very important stakeholder in the global supply chain. So whether it is defense or whether it is trade, the relationship with India is only growing stronger. In addition to that, the kind of relationship that India and the United States is developing, especially in space, which is a very important both governments and both people. The multifaceted cooperation between India and the United States in the field of science and technology has been steadily and constantly growing. In 2019, the India-United States Science and Technology Cooperation Agreement, which was first signed in October 2005, was renewed for a further period of 10 years in 2019. So this is again a very important step in the right direction. The Indo-US Science and Technology Forum met again the 7th time. The joint working group of India and the United States on civil space cooperation met for the 7th time in my city of Bangalore in 2019 November. And together, PM Modi and President Trump are currently encouraging a lot of support to ISRO and NASA for development and launch in 2022 of a joint mission with the world's first dual frequency synthetic aperture radar satellite. And whether it is Earth observation, Mars planetary exploration, heliophysics, human spaceflight, and including commercial space cooperation, there is immense opportunities for India and United States in the field of space. All of you are aware that my Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, opened India's space exploration to even private players very recently as a part of his Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Therefore, the kind of opportunities that we will have in the coming days, even in space, including for private players, is going to be immense. Friends, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, the United States and India has shown to the world that we can be together to address some of the greatest challenges to humanity. Whether it was India coming to the aid of the United States by supplying the hydroxychloroquine tablets, or also the kind of help that India received as a reciprocation from the United States, by receiving some ventilators, has further strengthened our resolve to be more closer to each other. I would just want to conclude by saying two very important things. While we have built on these strengths, the United States and India also recognizes our common challenges and our common one is the radical Islamic terror that is troubling not only United States and India, but also the rest of the world. Therefore, my Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, has been unequivocal in demanding a strict and stern action against terrorism in different parts of the world. I would also want to request all people who are participating in this, all important members from the United States, Indian diaspora and others, to understand that terrorism, radical Islamic terrorism, is not merely a law and order problem. It is primarily an ideological problem, and all liberal democracies which value the principles of constitutional law, rule of law, pluralism, respect for all religions, and equality of opportunities must come together to question the fundamentals of this ideology, which inspires people to take to terror. That is a very, very important responsibility that all of us, as liberal societies, as societies that value freedom, has on all of us. The second and the last important thing, the last and most important thing where I want to, the thought with which I want to leave all of you is this. For any two nations to come together, it is not just the governments, it is not just the universities which can, or government institutions which need to come together. It is the understanding of the two peoples who have to come together to understand each other's aspirations, each other's dreams, each other's challenges and limitations, so that we can be together in this journey of prosperity together. I would candidly want to say that on a lot of issues, whether it is India's stand on Article 370 abrogation, whether it is on the historic of the CAA, the citizenship amendments, including Christians, Hindus, Parsis, Zoroastrians, Buddhists, and Jains in the India's neighborhood. We would want the United States to understand these issues from a better India perspective and not be swayed by anti-India and Pakistan-funded lobby in the United States. And most importantly, I also recognize the need for Indians, especially who are keen to work in this global order, especially work closely with the United States, that a lot of restrictions, whether it is on the H-1B visas, is causing a lot of anxiety to many Indians who want to go and contribute to the growth of the United States and India's relationship together. I hope that in the coming days, all parties in the United States, all Congress leaders, all the government that comes into being again, all stakeholders in the process, recognize and understand these challenges and demands and aspirations of the Indian community, and will take extremely important steps quickly to address these, so that our long-standing grand relationship will be further deepened. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you. I wish all of you again a very, very happy Independence Day. And I look forward to seeing all of you in person sometime soon in the United States or in India after the COVID pandemic, hopefully ending very soon. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki Jai.